The ocean isn't scary because of sharks. It's scary because of what's actually down there, and by the end of this video, you'll wish you didn't know. Let's kick things off in the shallows and work our way down into the deep. Because trust me, it gets so much worse the further we go. Sunlight zone, tongue-eating louse. This might be the single most disturbing parasite in the entire ocean. It slips into a fish, through the gills, and clamps onto the base of the tongue. From there, it cuts off blood flow to the tongue until it withers and drops off completely. And then the louse does something no other known parasite does. It attaches itself in the exact spot where the tongue used to be and becomes the fish's new tongue. The fish keeps using it normally to move food around its mouth, while the louse spends the rest of its life quietly feeding on the fish's blood and mucus. Parasitic barnacle. This one starts out as a tiny, free-floating larva on the hunt for a crab. Once it finds a target, it locates a soft spot in the shell and injects a small cluster of its own cells directly into the crab's bloodstream. From there, it grows outward, threading root-like tendrils through the crab's entire body, including its organs and brain. Eventually, it's fully in control of both the crab's body and behavior. It chemically shuts down the crab's ability to molt or reproduce, and if the host happens to be male, the barnacle rewires its hormones until it physically and behaviorally resembles a female. Then it forces an egg sac out through the crab's abdomen, and the zombified crab spends the rest of its life tenderly grooming and guarding eggs that were never its own. Sarcastic Fringehead, nicknamed the Demogorgon fish. For good reason. This creature lives in shallow water off the California coast, usually squatting inside abandoned shells or even discarded bottles. Most of the time, it just looks like an odd little fish. But the second something invades its territory, its jaw unhinges and stretches to a genuinely absurd size, wide enough to resemble the fanged, petal-shaped mouth of the Demogorgon from Stranger Things. When two fringeheads clash over territory, they press their gaping mouths together like a bizarre wrestling match, and whichever one has the smaller mouth backs down first. Blue dragon. At a glance, this creature looks almost too pretty to be dangerous, until you learn what it eats. The blue dragon actively hunts the Portuguese man-o'-war, one of the most venomous animals in the ocean, and it's completely immune to the sting. Not only does it survive contact, it tears off the man-o'-war's stinging cells, eats them, and stores them inside its own finger-like appendages, concentrating the venom in the process. The result is that a sting from this tiny, beautiful creature can hurt far worse than an actual man-o'-war, Bobbit worm. This thing looks like it crawled out of a science fiction nightmare. It can grow to over 10 feet long, though almost its entire body stays hidden beneath the ocean floor, with only a handful of antennae poking above the sand. It's essentially blind and relies on ambush alone. The moment a fish brushes past those antennae, the worm launches out of the sediment at incredible speed and snaps its blade-like jaws shut with enough force to cut a fish clean in half, then hauls the remains down into its burrow to eat. Twilight zone, goblin shark. Its face alone is unsettling, but the real horror is how it feeds. Instead of being fixed to the skull like in most animals, the goblin shark's jaw is held in place by stretchy ligaments. The moment its snout picks up the faint electrical signal of nearby prey in the darkness, the entire jaw detaches and slingshots forward out of its face to snatch the target, almost exactly like the inner jaw of the creature from Alien. Phronima, the pram bug. Widely believed to be the visual inspiration for the alien queen, this creature drifts through open water until it's time to reproduce. At that point, it hunts down a salp, a soft, barrel-shaped gelatinous animal, and uses its claws to slice it open, hollowing out its organs while it's still alive. Once the salp has been reduced to an empty shell, the Phronima climbs inside, lays its eggs, and pilots the hollowed-out corpse around like a living submarine. Stoplight Loosejaw. Most bioluminescent hunters in the Twilight Zone glow blue or green, since those wavelengths travel the farthest through water. The Stoplight Loosejaw breaks the pattern entirely by emitting red light, a color almost nothing else in the deep sea can even perceive. That gives it an effectively invisible spotlight. It can shine directly on prey without being detected. When it's ready to strike, its lower jaw, which has no floor of flesh connecting it to the rest of the mouth, shoots forward to impale its target on needle-thin teeth, Sloane's Viperfish. This fish holds the record for the largest teeth relative to head size of any fish on Earth. Its fangs are so oversized they physically can't fit inside a closed mouth. If it tried, the lower teeth would drive straight through its own skull. To get around this, the teeth curve outward along the outside of its face. To hunt, it cranks its neck back, unhinges its jaw, and charges forward at speed, essentially using its own head as a spear. Loperoid Copepods. Life is already brutal at these depths, and then this parasite shows up. It's a specialized crustacean that navigates total darkness, locks onto a fish, and burrows straight into its eyeball. Anchoring appendages root it into the surrounding tissue, and from there it eats the eye from the inside out, leaving the fish permanently blind. The parasite's long, maggot-like body then hangs out of the ruined socket for the rest of the fish's life, trailing a pair of egg sacs and continuously draining fluid from the animal's head. Midnight Zone Deep Sea Anglerfish. Everyone knows the glowing lure, but that's not the disturbing part. The mating process is. Finding a partner in the vast blackness of the deep ocean is nearly impossible. So when a tiny, lureless, digestionless male finally tracks down a much larger female, he bites into her body and releases an enzyme that dissolves the skin at the contact point, physically fusing the two of them together, blood vessels included. Over time, his eyes, fins, and internal organs break down completely, and he stops functioning as an independent animal altogether, permanently living on as an attached appendage that exists purely to supply sperm on demand, deep-sea Siphonophores. From a distance, it looks like a single glowing strand of string drifting in the water. It's not one animal at all. It's a colony of thousands of genetically identical clones, called zooids, that can stretch past 150 feet, longer than a blue whale. Each zooid specializes. Some become propulsion units, some become digestive organs, some become long, venom-loaded tentacles, and they're all physically linked, sharing a single nerve cord and functioning as one giant organism. In the midnight zone, they coil into massive spirals, effectively casting a glowing net of death that snags and paralyzes anything that drifts into it. Zombie worms. When something massive like a whale dies and sinks into the dark, it creates what's known as a whale fall, and that triggers an invasion of these things. Zombie worms have no mouth, no stomach, and no teeth at all. Instead, they secrete acid that eats straight through bone, then extend root-like tendrils deep into the exposed marrow. Bacteria living inside those roots break down the fats and proteins for the worm to absorb. Only the females do the bone dissolving. The males never even develop past a microscopic larval stage, and dozens to hundreds of them live permanently inside a single female's gelatinous tube, existing purely to fertilize her eggs, black swallower. In an environment where the next meal might not show up for months, passing up food because it's too big simply isn't an option. This fish rarely exceeds 10 inches, yet it regularly swallows prey twice its length and up to 10 times its weight, grabbing the tail, unhinging its jaw, and essentially walking its own mouth over the still struggling victim before its stomach balloons out to contain it. Occasionally it overreaches. If the swallowed fish is too large to digest in time, it starts decomposing inside the stomach, and the buildup of gas inflates the swallower and drags it violently up to the surface, usually killing it in the process. Colossal squid. The giant squid gets all the attention, but the colossal squid is heavier, bulkier, and far more dangerous. Living in the frigid waters around Antarctica, it grows up to 43 feet long and has the largest eyes of any animal on the planet. Roughly dinner plate sized, built to catch the faint bioluminescent glow of its main predator, the sperm whale. Unlike the giant squid's simple suction cups, the colossal squid's tentacles are lined with rotating, razor-sharp hooks. We know exactly how brutal these fights get, because sperm whales that survive deep dives often surface covered in deep, circular scars left by those hooks. Pelican eel. This creature looks less like a fish and more like a giant pair of jaws with a whip-thin tail attached. Its massive, loosely hinged lower jaw functions almost exactly like a pelican's pouch. When it hunts, it inflates its mouth like a parachute, engulfing huge volumes of water along with prey many times its own size. To pull targets in through the dark, it dangles a small glowing pink and red lure at the very tip of its tail. The abyssal ribbon worms. These look like flat, gelatinous strips of skinned meat drifting through the water, no eyes, no visible face, nothing. The horror kicks in the moment they detect prey. The entire front of the head splits open and violently launches a muscular tube outward, essentially an inside-out throat. That tube wraps around the target, stabs it with a sharp barb, and pumps in a neurotoxic cocktail that liquefies the victim's insides while it's still alive. The worm then uses the same tube like a straw to drink the dissolved remains, leaving nothing behind but an empty skin. Giant sea spiders. Sea spiders exist in shallow water too, but in the abyss, they hit a phenomenon called deep-sea gigantism, growing to dinner plate size with leg spans up to 20 inches. Their bodies are so thin and leg-dominated that there's no room left for organs, so they store their digestive and reproductive systems inside their legs instead. Since they have no jaws to bite, they drive a long proboscis directly into prey and simply suck the internal fluids out like a straw. Xenophyophores. Picture a single-celled amoeba scaled up to the size of a dinner plate, and you're most of the way there. These things look like tangled piles of rotting intestines or spongy brain matter scattered across the seafloor, and the way they grow is genuinely unpleasant. They glue together their own waste and sediment using a self-secreted cement to build a jagged shell. On top of that, they act like biological sponges for toxic material, naturally accumulating heavy metals and radioactive elements like uranium, lead, and mercury, making them, quite literally, radioactive lumps of waste. Carnivorous abyssal sponges. Sponges are usually harmless filter feeders, but there's not enough floating organic matter down here to filter, so they evolved into predators instead. Their surfaces are covered in millions of microscopic, Velcro-like glass hooks. When a small crustacean drifts too close, it snags on the hooks, and instead of chewing, the sponge's individual cells physically migrate through its body to surround the trapped animal, enveloping it alive and secreting enzymes that dissolve it into liquid for the sponge to absorb. The trenches, Magnapinna squid. Most squid are built for speed. The Magnapinna is the opposite, a slow, drifting phantom. In 2021, a submersible filming the floor of the Philippine Trench spotted a young Magnapinna cruising at over 20,000 feet, making it the deepest recorded squid ever and the only known species to venture into the trench zone at all. Its body is bizarre. It can stretch 20 to 26 feet long, but almost 90% of that length is made up of thin, spider-like tentacles trailing behind a comparatively small mantle. It hovers motionless just above the seafloor like a living drift net, waiting for something to blindly collide with it. Hirondellea gigas. These are the flesh-stripping scavenger swarms of the deepest trenches on Earth, found living all the way down at the roughly 35,000-foot Challenger Deep. They're pale, blind, oversized crustaceans that exist in the millions, and because organic matter almost never reaches this far down, they're extremely aggressive when food does arrive, descending on a carcass by the thousands and reducing it to bone within hours. When nothing falls for long enough, they simply turn on each other instead. Order Platyctonida, flattened comb jellies. Most comb jellies are delicate, free-floating spheres. Down in the trenches, the crushing pressure forces this group to give up swimming entirely. They flatten into slimy, mat-like patches permanently stuck to the trench walls. Since they can't chase anything down, they deploy two extremely long, hair-thin tentacles that drift out like biological tripwires, coated in microscopic explosive sticky cells. The instant a passing shrimp bumps into one, it's glued in place, and the anchored jelly slowly reels it in toward its mouth while it's still stuck to the wall. Fat innkeeper, spoon worms. These have thick, unsegmented, dark green bodies that look uncomfortably like raw sausages, and they spend their lives buried to survive the extreme environment. To feed, the worm shoots out a single flat, ribbon-like tongue that can stretch up to 10 times its own body length, crawling blindly across the mud to mop up decaying organic debris with a coating of sticky mucus. Reproduction adds another layer of strangeness. A floating larva that lands on open mud grows into a normal worm, but one that happens to land on a female's tongue gets chemically transformed into a microscopic, eyeless parasitic male. She pulls him into her body, and he spends the rest of his life trapped inside her reproductive tract as a living sperm factory. Mariana snailfish. For a long time, this held the record for the deepest living fish ever found, surviving at depths around 27,000 feet. Its skin is so thin and translucent that you can see its liver, stomach, and muscle tissue right through it, but the real horror shows up if you try to bring one to the surface. This fish is quite literally held together by the crushing pressure of the deep ocean. Take that pressure away, and its structure falls apart entirely. Within minutes of reaching the surface, it dissolves into an unrecognizable puddle of gelatinous goo. Got a favorite nightmare from this list, or an idea for the next one? Come drop it in the comments.